Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this webinar on creating PowerPoint and Canva presentations. Let's go ahead and get started. So as I think almost everybody that is here today, hopefully, there's quite a few new faces, so I don't know. My name is Michelle Danley, and I'm the National Product Trainer for R.D. Henry. I've been doing this for a little over 2 years now, almost 2.5, which is crazy. Time is flying. But I basically train any new dealers, any new employees that you have, help answer any questions about Design Live, Pro Kitchen, the Evoke ordering program, any design questions that you may have. I am here to help you guys in so many different ways. So if you don't have my contact information, feel free to jot it down. I am recording this session, so if you have to pop off or whatever, let me know and I can send you a copy of the recording. Okay. Sorry, I have so many screens open for this one. I'm going to be fumbling a tad. Okay, so why you should care about your presentations. First impressions matter. We all know that. An impressive presentation can immediately capture a client's interest and set a positive tone for the rest of the project. Visualizing the concept. High quality presentations help clients visualize how the design elements will come together. We know how important that is. We work with homeowners all the time that have a very difficult time visualizing what we're trying to do. It's also going to help make sure everyone is on the same page. Helps build trust. This is going to show your professionalism and your expertise. It reassures your clients that you are capable of delivering a well thought out design. Reduce miscommunication. That's a big one. Detailed presentations help prevent misunderstandings by providing a clear, comprehensive view of the design. Helps justify your choices. With a little extra effort put into your presentations, you can better explain the reasoning behind your design choices. This is going to help your clients see value in your recommendations and your thought process. Enhances client engagement. Engaging presentations can make the design process interactive and more enjoyable. This can lead to a more collaborative relationship and increase client satisfaction. They are great for marketing. Use your presentations as marketing tools. And lastly, referrals. Happy clients are more likely to refer you to others. If you present them a really standout presentation, it's going to be a great way to set yourself up for success with your client. So I'm going to be using version 14.2. I'm still learning some of the new features with 14.2. I'm not super impressed with some of the things. I keep saying that. I sound like such a Debbie Downer here, but there's just been so many changes to the program. And I don't know, maybe I just don't like change, but they've changed the name again, guys. We've gone from 2020 to 2020 Design to 2020 Design Live to Design Live, and now it's called Design Flex. I wish they would just pick a name and stick with it. I'm not quite sure what Design Flex really is supposed to do. There's some project management functions within it that for some reason I don't have access to. I don't know what's going on with that. And I haven't had a whole lot of time to dive into it because that's not something I would be really using anyway. But then there is a presentation tool within Design Flex now where you can create a presentation right into PowerPoint from, I keep wanting to say 2020, from within Design Flex. So I'll show you guys how that works. I have an opinion about it. I'll let you guys form your own, but let's go ahead and get started on this next part here. Let me switch some screens around. I am going to what I've done is I'm going to kind of make this more interactive, where I can just kind of show you guys how I'm getting to getting the information and putting it together so that it can go into a presentation. So I've kind of started a couple of presentations, and then we're just going to expand on those, and you're going to be able to see all the different things that you can do and how you can really customize it and make it specific for your branding and for your customers. What's going on over here? Okay, so I don't know if anybody else is having problems with the cloud browser, but the cloud configurator is not working today. It was working for about half the day yesterday, and then today I can't even get it to come up. So what happens if you guys are new to this program, to this version, your appliances, if you pull them from your cloud browser, if your cloud configurator does not open up, they show up as an invalid selection. And you have to basically delete them and re-enter your appliances. And there's some things in the cloud browser that worked in my last webinar that don't work anymore. So 14.2 definitely has some things going on with it that are not fantastic. But I think we all kind of know that, and we just kind of are struggling along. Okay, so let's say this is just my little simple kitchen here, and I'm going to show you guys Canva first. Yes, don't use the cloud. I agree with that. I would love to have way more catalogs installed so that I don't have to use it, but it is what it is. Okay, so let me open up my Canva here. Now, I do have the paid version of Canva, but you guys do not need to use that. The free version is amazing. There's so many things that you can do for free. So don't feel like you need to pay for this. If it's something that you think that you're going to use quite often, it might be worth it, especially if you have multiple people at your company that you could share a license with. It is a really great tool. I love Canva, and I prefer it over PowerPoint, but that's only because it has so many more options, and there's just so much that you can do. Where with PowerPoint, you are a little bit more limited, and we'll see that here in a minute. Okay, so I don't know if you guys were at the last webinar where we just kind of went through some design tips and tricks. This is from that one. This kitchen that we had here, and I just kind of showed you very briefly because we were running out of time, kind of how you can put something together. This is just one of their basic designs that you can, there's all kinds of different templates that you can choose from. I stole one here. You can just use certain pages. You don't have to use like the entire, everything that they may have for that design. You may not need all these extra pages. Maybe you just want the title page. You can add just one page from a design, which is basically what I did here. I took a very simple, minimalistic look. I deleted some things from it and just kind of streamlined it a little bit. I can change other things within this if I want to make it more my brand colors. So maybe, let's just say we're R.D. Henry here, and I do have some brand colors set in here for R.D. Henry, for our company. So if you wanted to make it more in line with your company colors and add your logo, you can totally do that. That's one of the cool things that they also offer in here, is you can put your logos to where you can just drag them and put them on here and add them wherever you want. If you just want to do a small little, something, just to give it some, I don't want to say copyright, but maybe it would be kind of copyright, but just to let it know that, you know, this is the company that's doing this presentation. If you wanted to tweak it to your customer, you can totally do that too. So maybe the colors in their house, maybe they like more greens. So, you know, you can come in here and you can start changing and editing and picking different green colors. One of the things that I really like is being able to actually go out to like Sherwin-Williams or Benjamin Moore or something like that, go to the website and actually pull a color in. And maybe it's the wall color that you're going to be using. That's a really great way to maybe even add some background. If you guys remember this one here, I did add a color to this background. You know, if you wanted to make this background color the same color as what their walls are, I think I have some things loaded in here. Yeah, I think this is Snowbound from Sherwin-Williams. So if you wanted to, oops, well, let's just leave that, because what I'm going to do is click on my background, click on this, and here's that color. It's telling me that Snowbound's there, and then I can just delete this. So if I wanted to, you know, use my wall color as my main color for the background of my pages, that's a really great way to really kind of customize and make things, you know, very detailed to the homeowner and their actual project. So on this one, I think you guys remember, if you were here, I kind of just pulled in some images. These are things where you can do your renderings, and then you can either, actually the easiest way that I have found was to copy the image to the clipboard. So let's just do that. Let's go into, so here we have a rendering, part of a rendering, where I wanted to just be able to kind of show the side of this island and what that kind of looks like with those table legs. So if I wanted to save this, and then I can fix this and tweak it and crop it and do whatever I need to do to it, once I get it into Canva or even into PowerPoint, I can just hit the copy button. It's now on my clipboard. I'm just going to downsize that. And then let's just go down here to an empty page. I can just right click and hit paste. And here's that image. So from here, I can make this a little bit bigger if I need to. And now I can crop it. So I can just come up here to the crop tool. Maybe, there we go. And then I can just pull in what I want to be able to see. Maybe I want to crop out some of that kind of weird stuff because I took out my wall. So now here's a great image, just being able for your homeowner to see a little bit more detail on the side of this island. From here, you know, if I wanted to make some notes, I can add some notes in here. Maybe, here's another really great thing to do. Maybe I want to show, maybe I'm using a turned leg where the graphic is not that great. 2020 graphics are not perfect. We all know that. So I can come down here, get my spec book out, and let's go to decorative elements. And let's say we're using this leg here. Maybe I want to be able to put this into my presentation so that they understand the exact leg. I know that this is not the one in my drawing, but we're just being hypothetical here. I have the Snagit tool. If you guys do not have the Snagit tool, Snagit, it is a fantastic way to clip items and be able to put notes on them, do whatever you need to do. You also can use the clip it or snippet. What is it called? Snippet? I don't even remember what it's called because I haven't used it in so long. Is it snippet? Yeah, snipping tool. So you also have a snipping tool automatically within Windows that you can use as well. But I like to use Snagit. We all use it within the company. It's great. It puts this little thing up here at the top of your screen. So you just come up, click on that little red button, and then I'm just going to clip or snag that little leg. And let me show you what happens when you use that. This opened up on another screen, and it's just the Snagit editor is what it's called. And this is where you can mark up, do whatever you need to do on this picture. But I'm gonna just right click, copy, downsize that, downsize this, and then I can just paste that directly to my page here. So if I wanted to draw like an arrow saying that this is the leg, I can do that by just coming in here. Here's an arrow. We can just manipulate it however we want. We can change the color. Oops, sorry, wrong one. We can change the color to whatever we want it to be. If we wanted to make it black, we can. If you wanted to put a description, nomenclature, anything like that, you can totally do that. Any other notes that you may want to include here, you can, you know, whatever you want to do to make this detailed so that all of your information, you know, about the design are going to be there for your customer. Maybe you're using some furniture base molding and you want to make sure that they like the furniture base and that they understand exactly which one they're getting. Let's just go back up here, find our moldings, and go to our furniture base. Let's just use one of these here. I'm gonna make this larger because it does make it a little bit easier. And then I'm just gonna clip or snip or snag or whatever you wanna call it, that image, and do the exact same thing. Copy it. If you're using the snipping tool, I think you have that option to just copy it directly to your clipboard. Kind of takes out another little step. And now here's our furniture base molding. I can size this appropriately if I want, add any notes, you know. Let's add a text box here. So I can come up here, say add text box, and put furniture base on 3 sides of island. This little thing moves it to where you need it to go. I can change it so that it shrinks down, move it where I want. And now I am adding, you know, some more detail so that the homeowner knows exactly what they're getting. They can see the profile that they have. What's happening here is going to go on 3 sides. This is also great for installation packets. That way, you know, there's no question on what's happening for your installer. Give them a profile of it if you want to as well, because then they know exactly which molding to be using. Another thing that I built in Canva is a crown detail. This is so simple. Now, is it perfect? No, it's not to scale either, but I've got it on here so that there's no question to my installer what needs to be happening with my crown detail. I've put kind of what the overall height is. I've added the name to the pieces that they're going to be getting. And then I put an image from my spec book on here and then labeled it. Let me show you guys how I did this. It's so simple. Actually, I'm just going to show you right here. I just went to elements. There's shapes within here. So I just grabbed a square, and the first thing I did is I changed my border. so that there was a border on it, changed the line weight. And then the next thing I did was I made it just white inside. So document colors are always going to show up here at the top. I just want it to be white so that I can make a rectangle. And then I just manipulated the size and just estimated. I just got myself close to whatever. And then you just copy. Actually, if you just hit this duplicate button, it just makes whatever it is that you're doing duplicated. So now I've got face frame, my door. I left a little bit there to kind of show a reveal. And then maybe I should have done this on another page so I can get it a little closer. Let's do this. Move this up out of the way. All right, this gives me more room to work. Okay, so let me duplicate this again. And here's our next one. I'm gonna rotate it. And then I'm gonna move it, and that's gonna act as the top of my cabinet. As we can see here, I'm a little going off the page. Oops. Grab it. There we go. All right, close enough. You guys get the idea. I shrunk it a little bit. Oh, who cares? Okay, so now I'm just going to duplicate again. We're going to act like this is that MBC 8. I'm going to kind of tweak the size of that so it's a little bit more in line. I'm going to just duplicate one of these to make my, if I'm using a furniture-based molding, and then I'm going to shrink that size down so it's a little bit more in line with what it should be. Then let's just go to our moldings and let's go to our crowns. Let's just use this one here. We'll just use this. Oops. So I am going to make it bigger, and then watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to clip this. I'm going to get it as close as I can to this, close enough at least. And there's nothing that I can really do about that 4 and 21/30 seconds, but I'm going to show you what I did to hide that. Hopefully it works with this one. I can figure it out. Okay, so then we're going to say copy, and then I'm going to paste it on here, and I'm going to shrink it so that it's a little bit more in scale. Going to place it right on here. And now we've got our crown molding. So now you see we have this dimension there that we don't really want. So I just created another shape. I'm going to use one here. It's not letting me move it. There we go. And with this, I'm going to just rotate it. And then I'm going to just make it quite a bit smaller. I'm just going to cover that up, and then I'm just going to change the color to white. And oh, it's not totally in the right spot. Get it a little bit closer. There we go. And now it's gone. So that's a really great way to cover up anything that you've got there. Now there is a box here, so if you go to put any kind, like right here, I have a circle. If I move this, you can see it uncovers that. But because my crown molding is coved, I used a circle and it fit perfect. So this text, I did have to position it so that it was on top. So if I were to hit go back, it's now underneath that circle. So if you lose something, that could be what's happening, is you have a shape blocking it. So this is just a really great, easy, quick way to do a crown molding detail. It's not exact, it's not perfect, but this is going to give your installers pretty clear expectations. If you wanted to, you could put the actual, like if you were using a piece of furniture base here, you could clip it and you could actually add that on here too. If you're just using like the starter molding eased edge or whatever, easily just draw it with shapes if you want. So that is how I made this crown detail. I did put a note on here too that the drawing is not to scale. That's probably pretty important because you don't want them trying to take measurements from here. If you wanted to say, you know, that this reveal here, what you think that's going to be, you can of course always add that. I would sometimes do that for my installers so that they just kind of had an idea of what they were, what to totally be expecting. Okay, so let me go to this other one, which is the kitchen that I am working on. Here is that island that we already kind of pulled in that I can crop if I want to crop this so that it, oops. Is it gonna just let me, yeah, there we go. And we'll just crop that to make that look a little bit nicer. So there's that drawing. One of the other things I did on this one to just kind of give you some ideas is I put a title page on here. You can completely customize this. You don't have to use a title page, but you can save a template. Like you could come in here, you could make a template. Maybe it's got a title page on here so that each time you come in, all you have to do is just tweak the customer's name. Maybe you've got a little disclaimer over here of some sort. You could put page numbers on here if you wanted, but you could save this as a template. And then the other thing you can do is you can put that with your, whatever your brand, sorry, click the wrong one, whatever your brand might be. So like this one here, let's say we just want this as a title page. We'll add that as a new page, and then we can move it down here at the bottom so that it's page number 1. And then I can just change the message here. What do we say? This is we'll just give it a name. Maybe we put in here the date, and then maybe over here we put their address. I did not capitalize that, and that's going to bug me. So you can do all kinds of things here. Now this one has a graphic in it. So maybe I want to put an image in here. And let's see, for this kitchen, I've only got that one image uploaded so far. So what I can do is highlight that box, and then I can just drag this, wait for it to kind of catch. Is it going to catch? There it goes. And then I can edit it so that I can move that. Well, wait, where did it go? Maybe it's crop. Is that where it is? Yes, sorry. Go to the cropping tool and I can change it to wherever I want. Obviously, this probably is not the best image to display this, but you get the idea. So I could put a little sneak peek of their project right there on the title page. And then, you know, you can go into floor plans. This one, I snipped this from the 2020 and then just copied it and brought it in here. I'm not super keen on how blurry some of this is, so I would probably take out my notes that are in 2020 and I would just hand do my notes. So I would just, you know, add a text box and then go from there and just type in whatever notes that I had. can do like I did here. This one, I added the notes in here. So this is very crisp, clear, clean, tells you exactly what's going on. Ignore what's going on with my apron and my leg. That was an irritating issue to me. I don't know if you guys have these issues like I do sometimes, but in my graphics, this lines up perfect and is exactly where it needs to be, but on my drawing, it's not. So in this case, I would probably have two sets of drawings. I'd have one that was just for graphics, like what I did here because I named it graphics, and then I'd have one that was more of an install that would show these correctly, so that I had that for the installer. So just to keep moving on other things that you can do here, maybe I want to do a page that is going to show some of the materials that we're using. I did upload a few things. Let's see. But not everything. Let's go find them. So I'm going to go to upload files. And it opens right to where I wanted. So perfect. So maybe I want to put the door style on here. I can click that, say open. And I can now put my door style that I'm going to be using. And maybe I want to show the edge profile. So I snagged this also from the spec book. Can open that. And so I'm just going to make kind of like a style report, but I'm going to make it, oops, that's not what we wanted to do. Make that a little bit more realistic. And then this is great because you can even put a sign-off page, or, like a little spot where they can put their approval signature. Maybe this is our finish color. A little too big. And I think we had one more. Gravel. And then I can just put all of these finishes in here that I'm using. And then I can label them, just by putting in some text boxes. And of course I can change this to whatever size I want. So maybe I want that to be a little bit bigger. I can come in here and change it. I can, label that this is your door edge profile, label the name of the door, whatever I want to do here. And then I can just keep adding. Maybe I want to put on a separate page, I want to start adding countertops and backsplash and all of that type of stuff and hardware. I can do that. So you're going to kind of make like a mood board or a selection board basically within your presentation. And then I can make it look much nicer by adding some other graphics. If I really like the way that this one looks here, and I want to kind of keep some of that look, I could do something where I take one of these and I just delete all this stuff that I don't want, and I use it as kind of a backdrop. And maybe I want to put this stuff over on this page. So if I wanted to do something along those lines, I could just move my items. I don't know if this is really a great option for this, but I think you guys understand kind of the things that you can do here. The other thing you can do with the paid subscription, this is actually the only reason really that I do this, is because for presentations, and we use it within the marketing department, is you can remove the background of photos. So like this, because it came from the spec book, it's got white. If I'm putting any kind of color, that white's going to show up, which is not the end of the world. Add a little border around it, make it look a little bit nicer if you want. But if you want the paid version, you can remove that background, which is nice, I'm not going to lie. So it really kind of cleans that up and really makes it look sharp. So that's really the only reason why I could see you ever really wanting to pay for it. Okay, so let's see here. This can just keep going. Like here I've got the sink that we're going to be using, where I can, put this in here as well. Obviously, I am not taking the time to make this look perfect, but you can see how you can really hone in and get all of your stuff clear and concise. Plumbing fixtures, get a photo of the actual faucet. What's even better is to be able to put next to that item the model number, who's supplying it, any of those types of details. That way it's very clear. So if your plumbing is coming from Ferguson, maybe you would put supplied by Ferguson. And if you wanted to put the plumber as the installer, you totally could. So you could really get things narrowed down and very clear and concise. So you can put as much detail into these as you want. Okay, what time is it? All right, let's go look over at PowerPoint real quick. So let's minimize this. Does anybody have any questions about Canva? There's so much you can do here, you guys. It's so much fun. Definitely a great program. Okay, so Design Flex. It has a new feature where you can make your own PowerPoint presentation packet. And what this does is it basically takes your named views. So from your perspective, you can come down here and you can see all of your named views. And it will take these and it will add them into a PowerPoint presentation. Now, it does take some time. Can you change the cabinet color with paid? That's a really good question. You can filter some things out, but what's even better for that is to use Adobe Lightroom. I know a lot of people who use Adobe Lightroom to adjust the colors in their perspectives, because the lighting in this program, as we all know, is extremely tricky, and getting just the right color can be really hard. So a lot of people will brighten them up or change some things in Adobe Lightroom. So definitely check into that if that's one thing that you're looking for. Canva, as far as being able to filter or change, you're going to be able to change some of the color tone, but it's not going to be like what you really need. This is really kind of I guess you can change it by the temperature. So maybe I would say just play around with it and see. This is all going to be in the free version to be able to, adjust this stuff. So definitely you can play around with it. Okay, so this is what happens when you click on this presentation packet. You get a new window that comes up, and you would click update, or you would, it'd say update for me. Now I can't remember what it said the very first time I opened this. Start maybe. And then it's going to render all of those named views, all of those saved views. And so as you can imagine, that can take some time. I think it took like almost an hour for it to do the ones that I had. So be ready for that, which I guess could be a time saver than instead of going in and doing each one. But I don't know. I don't know if it was a time saver or not. But here's what it creates. Let me show you what it's already open. So let me close out of that, and then maybe it's not open because I have the other one open. Okay, let's open it. Here it is. So many things that this, I don't even know what to say without being negative. This requires a ton of work to me, where I would just prefer to just do it on my own, because number one, everything's in purple. So every area here, it's all going to be in purple. I am not a fan of purple. I would want this to be more on brand with my company and our colors. So easily fixed. I know, not a big deal. But I guess it is kind of a time saver because it does pull all of this in, and then you can tweak it like I did here, where I started putting in little notes of, you know, what's in the cabinet, and then getting pictures of those items. So, you know, you could go snag a photo of the wood Super Susan if you wanted and put that in here. Grab a photo of the wood tray dividers. We do have a lot of those on our website under the accessories. You can also find them in the spec book, or if you know it's a Rub-A-Shelf product, grab it from Rub-A-Shelf's website. We are actually working on some new marketing material that is going to have all of those together in one piece. So this will be super simple once that piece is ready. Can you upload the PowerPoint to Canva to do other edits? Yeah, I think you can. I know you can take Canva into PowerPoint because I do that all the time. Now, I haven't tried that to see if you can upload a PowerPoint into Canva. I'll try that and let you know, Alyssa, because that would be kind of a time saver. So this is what it looks like. I didn't have another one, I guess, for it to bring in here. So this is what it looks like, and it'll say saved view. So each one of these says saved view, and it's numbered. And then you can just change that text to whatever you want it to be. I brought in a piece of hardware. Now, PowerPoint, removing the background from photos is not very easy at all. And this is where Canva is amazing. When you try to remove the background, it's a very time-consuming, very difficult thing to do. This is not fun, guys. So I don't recommend trying to do it this way. If that is a feature, then the paid version of Canva is the way to go for sure. If that's something that you absolutely have to have. If not, you could easily just crop this down or put a nice border around it, especially if you were wanting to change the background of your color, and then that would make it pop a little bit. You could totally do that. So here we've, got this presentation. It's started. It's a great starting point for sure. But if you wanted to tweak it, add your company logo here. I don't know why it pulled this. This is not the best thing for, the beginning of your presentation. You can see my scenery over here behind my window. I also added walls and a window here just so that it would render better. Because I originally just had a U-shaped kitchen. And if you guys don't know that little trick, closing in your room and adding windows and doors will help your renderings greatly. So that's the reason that's actually here. If this was my actual presentation, I would probably have multiple files. So maybe one that's, looking down on it, maybe I would actually have the one that doesn't have this wall where it's more accurate to the space or whatever. So here you can make title block pages if you wanted. You're not going to be able to save that within the 2020 or Design Flex, whatever this thing's called. Within Design Flex, you're not going to be able to save like a title block for your PowerPoint. Now, maybe that's something that will come down the road. I know drawing layout has not been touched since like version 10, and I don't know of very many people who actually use it anymore because it just doesn't do it. It's not as advanced as it should be at this point. And I think this is actually going to be replacing drawing layout eventually. Oh, true. Taking sample pictures in your showroom with the iPhone and then removing the background may be easier. Yeah, you're right. That is a good iPhone feature. So you are more than welcome to use this and then tweak it and add things. So I added, what the actual microwave is going to be for this island. Put, some wording here. It's a Sharp microwave drawer. Put the model number, who it's supplied by, and then the sink that's in the island. I have 2 galley sinks in this kitchen. I don't think it needs 2 galley sinks, but I was just excited to be able to play around with that catalog. So the prep sink in the island is just the little 2-foot one. So, you can put everything that's going to be in here if you wanted, or you could just do a separate page again, where maybe all of your finishes are listed and maybe all of your appliances are listed. So if you wanted to add a page here, we can just add a new slide. I didn't really want to click on that one. Let's delete that. So here again, we can go and insert photos. So from here, I'm going to go to Insert and then go to Pictures, this device. And let me see, I don't remember where exactly I saved all that stuff. It's just been open. Here we go. So maybe, I want to insert the refrigerator. So here's my refrigerator. I could list model number and all of that stuff. And I can just go through and insert all of my photos. Oh, here's another one. On that style options page, I talk about this constantly in trainings. Maybe, oh, it doesn't let me do it that way. Sorry. Maybe you have a spot where you put the actual characteristics of the wood species they're using. I talk about this constantly because I want everybody talking to their homeowners about this. And maybe there's like a small little spot where you put a little text box and you put approved with a spot for them to sign. And that way, maybe you do that next to each and every selection so that they can sign off on what they've approved. And then you can just copy this. That's what's really cool, is just copy and paste. And you can put little approvals next to everything. That's a great way to CYA, you guys. What else did I have in here? Ooh, let's go up here to those pictures. That was probably the other one that was like super important, I thought. But you can add your countertop material. This could even make a really cool background. If you wanted to do something kind of fun, you could use some of the elements maybe for background pieces or accent type pieces throughout. You could spend a lot of time making these pretty amazing. Or you can keep it very simple. If you wanted to format your background, where is that at? Give me a second because it's been a while since I've done a fresh design in, oh, here it is, format background. So I can do a solid fill and I can find a color. I can even use the eyedropper. So if there's a specific color that I want it to be, I can bring that into my design, use the eyedropper, and then use that to make a color. but maybe I want to do a dark background to make things really kind of pop and make them noticeable. I could do that, and I could apply that to all of my pages if I wanted. You can do gradient fills. I mean, there's so many things that you can do to really make this kind of fun. So lots of different things. You can do the same thing with your background in Canva too. You have a lot more options in Canva because you have all those style options that you can use, those design elements. Right here at the top, you're looking at what PowerPoint has to use. These are their style options. So they have some, but not as cool as what Canva has for sure. But if it's something that it fits with your branding or fits the homeowner's taste, that's what's really cool, is you can really hone in on things that maybe would fit your homeowner's style and really win them over right away. Maybe they love lime green. Put some green in their presentation and really make it personal if you wanted. That's kind of busy for me, but you get the idea of what you can do to really make things to make up that, just add that extra special touch to win that customer over. The other thing that you can do is you can save this as a PDF, so you don't have to send this to your customer where it could be edited or something like that. You obviously, it's not a good idea to share an actual file with your homeowners because you don't want them making changes and then coming back and saying, no, it actually says this. So always saving things as a PDF and then sending it to your customer that way. You can do when you're doing your presentation here, this is really easy because maybe you've got your big TV, your screen open, in your presentation area. You can start your presentation just like this. So simple. And then I have to be on the right thing here. And then you can just scroll through. You can add transitions to them. So if you want to make it so that they do different things when you're going through, you can do that. You can do the same thing in Canva. You can also take your stuff from Canva. Let me pull that up so you can see that. So I can take this presentation from Canva and I can go to share, and I can do a few different things here. I can download it. I can share it, present it. If I want to present this, I just go down here to this little arrow and present, and it does the exact same thing as PowerPoint. So you can share within Canva if you want. But I can send this as a PowerPoint right here. So I can save it as a PowerPoint. You can download it. It looks like this didn't update because things are in a different spot. If I download, you do have some different things. So I can make it a PDF, which is perfect to have them sign off on. You don't want to send them the exact Canva file. So I can share it as a PDF. I can print it as a PDF if I want. Here's the PowerPoint. I don't know that you would ever really use JPEG or PNG or video. PDF and PowerPoint are the two that I use the most. But if I wanted to just make it a PowerPoint, I download it and then I can open it up in Microsoft PowerPoint if I want, and I can tweak it even further if I want to do that. So with this, if you wanted to print this, you can print it as a PDF. I just go into, you can do full page slides. You can change your orientation. You can do all kinds of things. So if you wanted to be able to do that so that they could go in and sign off on it, that would be a really great thing to do. This lime green is really not pleasing. change it to something else. Okay. Any questions, guys? Kind of went through a lot there. I could probably spend a couple hours on this and really get into like actually designing and making it super pretty. But I really wanted you to see kind of like the process and how to get some of that information into the programs so that you can organize it and really make it yours. Saving templates, that is going to be your huge time saver. So when you figure out kind of like what you want and what you like, save it. And then when you come back in, just name it template. Open it up. I'm going to talk about PowerPoint this way real quick. So you would open that up, do a save as, name it, your customer's name, and save it wherever. But then you always have that template you can go in and open up each time. For Canva, where's my mouse at? It's like not showing up. It's like I see it going over things, but I don't see my mouse. Here we go. Let me open Canva back up. Okay. Now I don't even remember what I was going to show you. My mouse distracted me. Oh, saving a template. Okay, so if you had one where maybe you had you decided to do a my brain's totally not working now. Whatever you call this. My brain's not working, you guys. Anyway, save your template. Get your style options down. Maybe you have your font that you like to use saved. A few different items. Maybe you use, let's see, it's on this one. Title block, that's the word I'm looking for, by the way. Maybe this is something you do quite often, and so you want to be able to just save this and then manipulate it or change it. Maybe you go ahead and label your pages. Maybe you've got molding detail, another one that says appliances, another one that's for plumbing. Make a blank template and then you can save it. And when you come back into Canva, maybe it's just called template. You can come in here and you can make a copy. And then once you make that copy, you always have your template, but then this one you can manipulate and change to whatever you need to tweak it to make it for that specific job. So it's very easy to save things and have that starting point for both programs, which is really nice. Any questions, guys? I'm not seeing. Yeah, if you're doing this much work, then yes, absolutely, you should be charging. You're probably not giving your cabinets away. But like I said, the time saver really comes in setting up that template so that all you have to do is just come in, throw your stuff in there, and then it doesn't really take that much time. The time is going to be setting it up and getting it the way that you want it. That is where that time is going to come in for sure. You are going to have some time going out there and finding, some of those images, especially like tile, things like that. But if you know what they're using, you can, Google it or whatever. You're already probably looking up appliance specs anyway. So, just grab an image of that appliance, save it. You could actually save your images in your client's folder in your computer. That way it's all in one spot. Or if you prefer to keep all of those images in a separate folder that you can reuse, some things, especially if, let's say you've got a builder who uses the same appliance package, save those appliances just in a appliance picture folder and label them the model number so that you can easily find them again. Title, yes, thank you, title block. That was the word I was looking for. We've been trying to add cleaning instructions and warranties to these packages as well. That is a really, really good idea. That is a good idea to include stuff like that into your packages. That would be really handy for the customer too, because this is something that you could give them at the end that has all of their selections in one spot that they would have then forever. You know, it's going to have model numbers. It's going to have all of that stuff, all of the drawings, you know, whatever, the graphics, everything. So having the warranty and any cleaning instructions for countertops or any other materials in the space is a fantastic idea. I love that. Marie, how to save a template? Did I answer that for you when I went through that? How, if you want to, in this one, you could just name it a template. Just going to start an untitled design here. And if I come in here, I can just say template. And it's going to automatically save that. I can set this up and then go from there. Same thing with PowerPoint. You're just going to save it like you would a document. Oh, okay, good. Yes, I got that. All right. Any other questions, you guys? Feel free to reach out to me if you do have questions. I am available almost always. Unless I'm busy. So reach out if you have questions. Any other ideas that you would like to see some webinars on. When you close out, there are a couple of questions. I would love to hear good, bad, whatever feedback and any ideas you guys may have for other things that you would like to see webinars on. It's because of you guys talking about this. This is how I came up with this one. What do we got here? A webinar on adding textures. Okay, that's a good one. I could probably fill an hour on that. Yes, the recording of this is going to be available on the website under the dealer portal. So it'll probably be there end of this week, beginning of next week, just kind of depending on marketing. So I'll make sure it gets up there and let you know when it's there for you to watch. Mastering the lighting. First, I've got to master the lighting. That is so hard. I will work on that though, because I know that that's a huge one. That's a very, very difficult thing. And then everybody's computers are a little bit different settings. And then I will work on that though, because I think that would be a huge thing. Easy Render. So I actually have gone back to Easy Render a couple of times to play with it, and I actually don't like it because it takes forever to do a high resolution rendering, and maybe it's just my computer is not totally up to snuff, but I know the Easy Render, I think playing with the lighting is a little bit easier than using Redway. Yeah, the lighting wizard is not much fun and it's not very customizable. So I agree. There definitely needs to be some easier things you can do with lighting. I'll work on that, guys. That's a good challenge. All right. Anything else? Thank you guys so much for coming and joining me today. Just let me know if there's anything else that you need help with. And challenge accepted on the lighting. Have a great day, you guys.